27 Sheafe Street. Also sitting here is John Carlo Tiberi, who is the property manager for all of Peter McGinnis's properties and apartments here in the North End, and also his own units that he has not exclusive use of Peter McGinnis, but he's the one he's here in the neighborhood, and he's the management office for Peter McGinnis's property. I believe most people on this board know Peter McGinnis. He owns a number of properties here in the North End. This one here on 27 Sheafe Street, want to change the legal occupancy of the current floor plan. Right now it's 5-family residential units. We want to change it from a 5-family to 8 residential units. There is no building, no exterior work other than we're going to modify I'll get to the head house. We're going to modify the head house to make it some living space and add a roof deck for the exclusive use of unit number 7. But the building is slated to be fully gutted, and a whole new floor plan is going to be it's renovated, whole new floor plan. What you have here right now is a basement unit. It's a 2-bedroom. Right?
The basement currently is a 1-bedroom.
Basement. Currently there's a basement unit, and then there's a unit on the first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth. What he's going to do, we're going to eliminate the basement unit and create 2 units. We're going to have Unit 1 and Unit 2. Unit 1 is going to be the front of the building, and it's going to be a duplex into the first part of the basement. And that's going to be approximately 650 square feet, 855 square feet of living space.
So that's like where that door is?
That would be that door, that's a single unit right there, basement unit. So that's going to be eliminated. So that's going to, the first floor unit, the first unit number 1 is going to be the first floor and into the first part of the basement. And unit number 2 is going to be really, say, the rear unit, which would be another duplex, first floor and into the basement, and that's going to be approximately 855 square feet of living space. And then each floor, so going to unit 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, and we'll get to 7 last, because that's where we're going to, 7 is going to be a duplex. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 are going to be 450 square foot units. Really, I was calling them a studio, but I think they're really more of a 2-room studio, maybe a 1-bedroom, because there's a wall, there's a living space, but because of the size, all of them, I was calling them a studio plus. Unit number 7 is a duplex, really more of a 1-bedroom unit, could be 2, but when it's 652 square feet, it's a duplex, exclusive use of the deck that's going to be proposed there. The head house is going to be modified. Right now there's an existing head house. Head house is approximately 8.5 feet, 6.5 feet tall, maybe about, look at the plans in terms of width, but it's going to go up to about 9 feet in height, and in width, it's going to just cover the floor plan, which is, as I calculated, maybe about 200 square feet of living space up there. There's a bathroom and some living space. And that's going to have a deck that's going to be exclusive use of Unit 7. Now, the concern was that there was some noise concerns at that location. The deck is going to be, if you look at the plan, it's going to be about 25 feet set back, because it's a long, narrow building. So it's going to be set back, so you're going to, obviously you're not going to see it from the street, but it's going to be set back about 25 feet from the street, so really in the middle of the building. There's a couple of violations. There's the open space violation, because as you're changing the occupancy, we're going to each unit has to have 100 square feet of open space according to the code. We're unable to meet that requirement unless we have decks for everybody or create some balconies, which we're not doing in this particular case. We have an FAR issue. Right now the FAR is about 3.9 currently, with the additional living space that we're creating going up to 4.1. So very minimal increase in the FAR. Is the off-street parking, which is really a common violation that we see here in the neighborhood. We certainly don't have parking on site at this particular location. And the other violation is the roof structure. We're changing the structure of the head house and the deck. The deck was approved back in 2011. It was stamped by ISD to put a roof deck. However, it was just never built. But plans were approved. The deck is probably going to be roughly about 100 to 140 square feet of space out there. We have made a commitment to this to the North End Waterford Residents Association, because there was a concern whether if this deck was approved, Would you then try to expand it? Would you have the right to expand it? You certainly don't have the right to expand it because that would cause a violation of the roof restriction, but we made a commitment to the neighborhood that we could put a proviso on it that did not exceed the square footage that's in this plan. So to this neighborhood, it's something that we've done in the past with other roof decks, something that you can do with any ZBA approval, put some provisos on it. So with that said, here to answer any questions. John Carlo's here to tell you, there's no subleasing in their leases. John Carlo will tell you that there's no students in these buildings, and this is a very similar floor plan that Peter McGinnis has done on House Street, 16 House Street.
Correct, yep.
So very similar floor plan, and the reason for the change in the floor plan is a very long, narrow building, so you have to get really, the old style North End units, you get through one bedroom to the other bedroom. Every bedroom you have to go to, you have to get through to another bedroom. And we're decreasing this number of bedrooms in this unit. So some of them are 3 bedrooms, some of them are 4 bedrooms rented out. We're going from 13 bedrooms currently now to 11 bedrooms that is proposed with this new floor plan.
Are you considering like?
It'll be sprinkled too because of changing the occupancy, you have to do it.
I have a question. So like the living area over here on 8, you consider that a bedroom for your tally?
There's a wall, you can call it a bedroom, the architect didn't label it a bedroom, it's 450 square feet of living space. You can call it a studio plus, because it is that wall that's there. I was calling it a studio, because a studio, I think the board really likes to see approximately 500 square feet of space for a studio unit here in the neighborhood, but the living space, the minimum out. What's that? It's an unwritten, measurement that the board of ZBA and the Kazani likes to see in terms of measurements for units. In terms of a one studio unit, he likes to see about 500 square feet. For one bedroom, he likes to see about 7 to 750 square feet and so on. But 450 is the minimum that you can have for a unit here in Boston.
So Dan, it looks like you're essentially, well, Peter is essentially cutting the units in half, whereas you would have 900 square feet per unit. You're just really essentially cutting it in half.
Absolutely.
And so, unlike the couple here, that's encouraging families, you're not going to get families in 450 square feet, right?
No, I don't think getting a family in the
It's not fair to
450
color.
square feet. I think John Kyle can speak to the type of tenants that he has,
Yeah.
he's been renting out, and he can go through it in
Even
terms of.
the layout now is actually kind of, it's one of those long kind of train buildings, so it's kind of walk through. And who we have living pretty much in that building, that particular building, and other buildings that I manage, and that Peter owns, all professionals. Unfortunately, in terms of their project, maybe they have a little more square footage. But, just layout-wise, just what it's conducive to, we don't get that kind of clientele anyways,
Well, I lived in one of those exact units. I lived in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And we were able to have a child. And that was perfect for a family.
Yeah.
Because it's family. You don't really need that separation. It's okay to walk through a child's bedroom to get to your bedroom. That's okay. So that to me was conducive to a family. This is not. And I guess as a board, at least I'll speak for myself, I like to see units I'd like to see families stay. And this, unfortunately, does not, unless I'm missing something, does not lend itself to families staying here. I mean, the way it's constructed now, you can have a family in that unit, 900 square feet. Even though their bedrooms are next to each other, you can still have a family.
I mean, yeah, possibly based on square footage.
Yeah, well, even
Yeah.
based on layout. But the way you're proposing, that families are out of the picture.
Well, there's 2 larger units, on the first one is a
Understood,
3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, so
Right.
those may be.
And I think in terms of the quality of tenant, by renovating them and fixing them up, I think right now, as they're being rented, talking with John Cowell, you're getting 2, 3 people, 4 people in a unit. And I think this decreases the number of people because we're decreasing the number of bedrooms in the units, making them better. He'll tell you that he rents to young professionals. His tenancies usually are pretty long, 24 to 36 months. We want to try to increase that, keep people here a little bit longer. We understand that, and Sean, you're right, it's exactly, and when you first look at it, that's exactly what we're cutting it out, but you're not going to get a family in these particular units. I think they feel that this floor plan really makes it better for a quality tenant to sit there, you know what I mean? to stay, you know, renovate them as a smaller, really one-bedroom unit.
Can I say something? Just because being a lifelong North Ender, I'm familiar with this name, I'm familiar with a number of these properties. And I do want to have it go on record that the property that's near my house, the snow is very rarely shoveled within within a decent time period. Trash is often put out at the wrong time, and neighbors are getting ticketed for this because they're being put on the borderline between houses. So my concern with an increase in tenants, there's going to be a lot more trash. There's going to be, with rentals, maybe less investment in maintaining the property because the owner is not living on site. He's, I believe, down in Florida. The other thing is this owner in the past has rented, if I understand correctly, to students, to fraternities.
It's not correct.
Who live in the North End. Well, certainly students.
No, we don't have any students in the whole portfolio. I rent all the units, we don't have any students.
But
Okay.
have you had students in the past?
On my clock, no. Since I've been doing this about 8 to 10 years, yeah. We have,
Undergrad students, like,
no, yeah, we don't, yeah.
no undergrad, but
No.
grad student, like college level.
To be honest, I think we're all completely professional and has been for a while.
Students
Yeah.
professionals seem to behave like students then.
Dan, I just have a question. Just curious about the fire egress, because I can have 2 apartments on some floors, so is there a fire escape or
It
another?
is going to propose as a second means of egress, a stairwell that will go down really on the side of the property.
Okay, I
I
see.
think you
Yeah,
can
right.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, you said, what did you say, going from how many bedrooms to how many?
Right now there are 13 bedrooms there.
Correct.
To go into 11, according to this plan.
And that includes like living spaces that would have no choice but to.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, I think that's how we
then-
calculate the loan.
And then the total height will be under 55, or 54.
It's, yeah, the height's not changing of the property.
54, 1, right?
Yeah,
How-
right,
how about the
not
head
under
house?
55 feet.
How about the head house?
Head house is being increased probably about 3 feet, extended, making it living space up there, yes.
So that's gonna, the new one's gonna be under 55.
Yes, be under 55 feet, so
How
54
many square
1.
feet is the head house gonna be?
If I calculated correctly, so 450, I think the total unit is about 655, so maybe about 205, 200.
So they could have another room?
There's a room, yeah, there's a full room, there's a bathroom up there, right.
And a closet.
That's
Yeah,
like a
closet.
two-bedroom, right?
What's that?
That would be like a two-bedroom?
You could call it a bedroom.
But is
I
there a
mean, we call it a
bathroom?
living
Is
space,
there a
but,
bathroom downstairs?
I'm sorry, is
Is
there
there
what?
gonna be a bathroom downstairs?
Is there a bathroom down there? I believe there is.
So there's 2 bathrooms?
2, yeah.
So you said it's a 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom?
We have as it's a one, I mean, it's a duplex. Theoretically, based on square footage, you can call it a 1-bedroom. I mean, it has a separate living space upstairs just because it's off the deck. The building itself right now actually has a good-sized storage area which comprises the head house, so really the change in the footprint to that, the head house is minimal. Yes, there is a good amount of
So
square
there's
footage.
so there's a bathroom downstairs?
Correct.
There's a bathroom downstairs and a bathroom upstairs, so there'll be 2 bathrooms?
There's 2 bathrooms, yeah.
So the roof deck goes to the unit that's 7.
Unit
Yes.
number 7.
It's exclusive
600
use.
square feet.
Right,
Right.
so right now,
Yep.
it's common, stairwell to the roof deck. So with the new floor plan, it eliminates anyone from getting on the roof because of the exclusive stairwell to unit 7. And I think that was a concern, some folks living on Sheafe Street, someone had a concern about people on that roof. So, I mean, as we see in the North End all the time, we don't recommend that tenants go on the roof, but they've been on there.
So it's all air in the building, we're
Can
gonna.
you do without the roof deck? Yeah.
Can we do it without the roof deck? I assume you could. I mean, to sit here and say you can't do it without the roof deck, you can look at me and say, you're crazy, just take out the roof deck. I think the owner wants to keep the roof deck. I think it just makes the space a little bit better. I think you probably get a more quality tenant that has a little outdoor space. It's set back over about 25 feet in the back of the building, so it's probably about 100 to 140 square feet. The roof deck, you can make it a little smaller if this board felt necessary, but it's not a large
If the
roof
neighbors
deck.
are complaining about the roof deck.
We'll see if there's any, but where are the utilities, any units on the roof or? Central area, you have
Mechanicals.
everything in the windows?
There's actually, I don't know if they position those on the plans themselves. I'm assuming if it's central there, they'll probably do the Mitsubishi split systems or
Okay.
just ductwork. And
There
that would
won't be
be,
anything in the windows, like,
no, nothing in the windows, no.
Dan, can you tell us how big the bedrooms are in the 450 square foot units?
The architect didn't measure them,
Yeah.
so I can't sit here and guess and measure it, but they're 450 square feet. He did put a wall that cuts the living space into that other room. So, you know, I'm not gonna guess. You know.
Any other questions?
You have to have a room about, you know, each one of them has to be 120 square feet, you know, I believe a bedroom there.
No, it's 5'10", 5 feet 10 inches wide, the office, by somewhere around 9 feet. So it's really about 50 square feet for the office, whatever it's called, helps with the parking door, which is really, it's a bedroom. You have a
With a closet.
window, you have a closet, and you have a door.
Right?
Yeah, not to belabor Bill's question, but if you're not counting the living rooms spaces as bedrooms, just counting them as living rooms, you're going from 13 bedrooms to how many bedrooms, technically bedrooms?
11 calculated.
Not, no, I'm saying not just bedrooms.
Actual bedrooms is like a 5, but then.
Well, we really, the unit 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, and 8, I don't think you labeled that.
Yeah, the way it's labeled right now, Ryan, it's unit 1 would be a 3-bedroom, unit 2 would be a 2-bedroom, unit 3 is a 1-bedroom, 4 is a studio, 5 is a 1, 6 is a studio, 7 is a 1, 8 is a studio. So the rear stack is studios, the front stack are 1-bedroom, 7 being a duplex, 1-bedroom.
That's going to be a studio, going to be 1 bed in it. So that's 11, including like the.
If you count studios as 1 bed, yes,
Yeah.
correct, it would be 11.
But technically, unit 7 could be a 2-bedroom, because you got enough space for a room, right? Upstairs,
small.
with the head out.
Theoretically, I mean, a lot of the units, some of these other units in North End, you can call them, you could call the current floor plan 4 bedrooms. So if you want to calculate it that way, you could actually be at 17 bedrooms going down to 11.
Any other questions? Any butters here?
I'm Greg Elrod, I'm at 26th Street, Sheafe across the street. Historically, unfortunately, the building is relatively loud, and I don't know if they have a lot of, it does seem like they have students, and I haven't met Peter, I'm sure he's a great guy.
How long has he owned the building, Joe Paul?
2009, I want to say, yeah, for about 7, yeah, about 7 years.
So it looks like he's gone from 4 units, in 2011 he went for a fifth unit, and now it's going for 8 units. In the past, there's been a lot of turnover. He's gone ahead and installed a security camera to try and monitor the people outside, because there were a lot of complaints of groups of people hanging outside. He told us it's a fake camera, but there still are congregations on Fridays and Saturday nights of 15, 20 people outside smoking and stuff. So I have renters to the left, to the right, and we don't have those similar issues. So that's my only concern. He makes a good point, hopefully getting more quality tenants, but I'm just concerned. That's the big concern I have. So from the plans I saw, it looked like the top floor is a 2-bedroom. I see a bedroom, a room, a bathroom, and a closet. Looks like a bedroom to me. On the roof.
These are plans that you're proposing to the city right now? These are
Those
plans that are
plans
filed
are
with the city?
filed,
And the city's okay with these rooms without denomination?
I haven't heard anything different.
That's a bedroom.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we've talked about this before, the smallness of those, I mean, I appreciate including the 2 and 3 bedrooms, I think there's modeling, and that does have the capacity to have the families, but the really small units, that's kind of how I look at it.
What do you find, Giancarlo, on the small units? What are you getting calls for now? Are you getting families in? Are you getting students?
To be honest with you, and actually, yeah, I'm glad you asked that question, George, to be honest with you. I think we'd all like to see more families in North End. The reality of the fact, we really don't get that kind of clientele. It's mostly professional, so proximity to the financial district, obviously other points in Boston, some commuters even. So, I'd say that the average demographic right now in the North End, it's between the 26 to 35-year-old range. They're working, like I said, either downtown, a financial firm, or any points north or southwest of Boston. And we've done this, we've used this model in a few other buildings as well, so albeit the units might be a little smaller, the quality of tenant that we get, and I know, obviously, I can appreciate that he lives across the street, and I know you live obviously next door at Fulton Street. The unfortunate part of sometimes having more bedrooms in a unit, it might not just be the tenants, it might be the tenant's friends. So, 3 people live in a unit, one person had somebody over, and then the one person is loud or whatnot. that's the, trouble sometimes. It is hard to monitor, but we do as best as possible, so. Yep.
Can I ask you another question?
Yes, sir.
We have a ton of new apartments coming up surrounding North End. We have all these huge buildings coming up. How is that affecting the tenants?
So we're in a different pricing category from what I feel. If you go to the Victor, the Archstone, or some of the other buildings that's coming along line, that product is much more expensive. So I don't feel that really is conducive to, kind of letting the city grow in any term. So, not people that just fresh out of school, that they want to come to North End and party. Let's say they've been established for 2-3 years, they have a job that they're making a decent income, and they want to live in the North End, they want to become part of the community. That's going to make it tougher for them. So I think we offer a product that actually is conducive to that. And what we find is that, sometimes, obviously, I've been in the real estate business quite a while, the people that start off as tenants, then later on go to, they fall in love with the North End once you live there, obviously, and then you go on and buy a condo, or live in a larger space or something like that, similar to what the Olsons are doing. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I think you need one to get to the other. A lot of these, clients that we have use these units that, kind of we use this model for as stepping stones to get to their plan B, I lived in a unit just like that, and then, you go to a larger space, you buy a condo and whatnot. So I feel like this is an actual integral step for the neighborhood, the process for, people to come in as young professionals and starting out, and then to become future families of the North End.
What is your price point for 450?
I'd say probably anywhere between 1,700, 1,800.
For 450 square feet?
Yeah, and to be honest, there's landlords that charge a lot more for that.
It's 16 House Street because you had the same floor plan originally. You made it to 8 units. The quality of tenants, is tenants staying longer in
Yeah, actually, so, and to talk about Mr. McGinnis' portfolio, we've had tenants that have been there with us for 10 years, some in Charles Street, some in Touch Court.
On House Street?
House Street actually was renovated in 2012, but we've had tenants there since the inception there as well.
Do you find that you get a better quality tenant on smaller units?
Absolutely, yeah.
Get into the multiple thing, or you got more?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say you have a better chance of getting less turnover. 3 people live in a unit, the odds are 3 people that then resign for another year. It's, one goes which way and the other way, or they have a boyfriend, or, they move away or whatnot. So a 1-bedroom, as long as your employment, everything else stays stable, you have a good chance. I mean, we're fair to the tenants, they're fair to us.
I think John Carlo makes a good point when he said that the resident association also, and they touched upon it a little bit tonight, you have 3 or 4 people living in one unit, they have friends over, and all of a sudden now you have 6, 7 people in a unit, which certainly makes things a whole lot louder. In a smaller unit like this, you may have a couple, or you may have a single person. You're not getting that crowd in the units that we see here in the neighborhood. We've all seen people coming out of the buildings, they're 10, 15 strong sometimes. I think you eliminate a lot of this by moving to this floor
And
plan.
all the properties, obviously, that I manage are all badged with my number on it. So if there's ever an issue, obviously, anybody, my number's right on there, my phone's on 24 hours a day, obviously. So we have active snow removal. I apologize, it's not done as quickly, so, and we try to stay.
I never thought of it myself. I live on Stillman Place, and we have very small units. We're surrounded by very small units, right where the building 105.
Yeah.
Number 2 is
Yeah.
small units, never really get much problems on them.
Yeah.
They're about 400 square feet each.
Yeah.
Number 5 is small units, not much problem. They have a private roof deck on the top. Number 6 is 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So a townhouse, it's every
You
week
hear it.
is a party.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of like, and that, I've lived there for 25 years. That building has never rented to a family.
Right.
It's always been roommates, So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the price point or what it is, but, I know the properties that I have, biggest ones, we have are 2 bedrooms, and the roommate issue is one leaves, the other one needs to leave, you get a new one in, and then again, when you have them if they throw a party, one person throws a party, they got so many friends. 2
Right.
people throw a party, they got double the
Right,
friends.
right.
I think you see the difference in the Olsons of it.
I agree with the 1 bedroom, but my concern is the roof decks, because private managed roof decks, and we have all professionals, and they have problems.
Yeah,
They have problems. They, for some reason, they gravitate towards the unit.
Yeah, it's-
How small they are, and how much they are. That was my only concern. I think the 1 bedrooms are the great idea.
Yeah.
They're fairly and
The size of this particular roof deck, also being private, is small, so.
but that doesn't make any difference. They just gravitate towards it.
John Hall, what's behind this building?
Behind this building would actually be the rear of Hull Street.
Go, right,
Yeah.
I mean, this building is long, so it goes extends, and then you have some space, and then you have Hull Street.
There's actually, to be honest with you, what we've seen also with buildings that don't have any roof deck or anything like that, doesn't have exclusive use, the tenants just kind of go up on the roofs. There's been, I think there was actually a fire last year in a building that just had a roof deck, not a roof deck, I think it was just on a roof. Tenant goes up and, you know, opens the door and whatnot, so
The way
And that's
it's
what's
designed,
happening.
they would have
They're going on the
to be able
roof.
to get up there pretty easily.
Yeah, and you know, on the roof
Happens
deck
quite a
thing, you know,
bit.
as much as many of the associations and many people in the neighborhood are against the roof decks, at least safety railings, because people are going up anyway. We had, what,
Yeah.
3 people in the last decade
Yeah.
fall off roofs here from
Yeah.
partying on roofs, and those rubber roofs are slippery.
yeah,
You know, you're still gonna be on a rubber roof that has a slope and you're going right down. Again, you know, roof decks, I think common roof decks are concerned by some sort of safety mechanism to keep people from falling off the roofs. Might not be a bad idea.
right, right.
Any other questions?
I would just ask, I don't know if it's too late in the game, but I mean, strongly consider making them a little bit bigger for the studios. I appreciate it, I think your points are valid, it's still like, I'm looking at some of these, I mean, 9 by 9 is quite a small area for the, put stuff.
I think if you make any adjustments to the square footage, you really don't meet that requirement that you have to by the city, 450. And so if you cut it, like if you're going into unit 1, say unit 3, for example, on the second floor, if you go into the rear, then you're really cutting into like unit 4, which then becomes even smaller, you know, so I think that's the significance of the plan of really making them right in half.
John, how much are you getting for your units now?
Currently, the rents are between 32 to 36 for 3 bedrooms. And the ground floor actually gets approximately 22 for the 1 bedroom.
All right, if some more questions, I think, somebody want to make a motion, close the debate?
That a motion that we go?
Second? All right, so moved.